What's up, guys? Shouri here, and today we are going to be going over Mark, one of the best heroes in the game. As you can see right here, they only have to go like 17 meters, and they have 3 minutes 30 seconds to do it. We are going to be doing our very best to be able to stop them, and that's where Mark comes in super clutch. He not only does an insane amount of damage, but he can solo carry your team because while doing all that damage, he's very mobile, so people can't lock you in one location, and you are also really hard to hit in between you deciding to just absolutely destroy them. And most importantly to me, you can always get in the best position, and you can use your brain power and your movement to be able to outsmart your opponent without it being something that hard to do. So, of course, you do have to have the mental aspects, but with Scotty using the super jump in high intense situations, or using other abilities that are always on cooldown and having to manage that, on this one, it's just always up. You just need to know when to go away and when to choose to attack, and then use different things like walls, your teammates attacking, and other factors on the map to confuse your enemies and come in at the right time so you can live. The best part is if you have level 10, the passive will heal you if you're out of combat. So that means if you can get the kill and you can run away, your healer doesn't really even have to help you. And in ranked matchmaking, that's great because heck, half the time you don't even have a healer. So right there, we are going to end up taking down his lamp, and we are afraid that he's going to come around to that right side. So we do move away so we don't end up getting pinched. But there's a problem. While we did kill him, our whole entire team's dead. They don't have very far to go, and the only kill is that guy that I just killed. So instead of going for this damage, I'm basically playing similar to an Aletta would on a point or a contest on this exact situation, to where I do a little bit of annoying damage, and then I just try to get out of there and then touch back again. The biggest problem that I have here is I don't have a healer. Never did. So that means that if I die or if I take too much damage, I will die. So I needed to make sure that I was just going back and forth to contest until my teammates could get up. And once the teammates got there, I either died or I had to play really special to just like do enough damage to get a kill, maybe heal. I didn't end up getting the heal, sadly, but we did stall it out, and that did end up saving us, and it ended up getting us the round. I'm going to make a full video on this because both rounds were just absolutely nuts. This wasn't even the coolest part of it, but you can really see from this last stand how powerful Mark really is. That's why I was able to get like 30 kills there. And right here, we are going to be playing from up top, but that's only to wait for the people on the left to either flank or not. We did end up deciding to go down because our team needed a lot of help in the middle, and then sadly my wife did end up calling me, and I waited until I killed the tank. That way I could answer the call without screwing my team, but when it looked like we had it, I went ahead and answered it, and then we just talked on the phone while I played. But it didn't matter because that is exactly how good this hero is. You don't even have to pay attention. You can answer phone calls. It's not even that big of a deal because Mark really is that good. So right there, we do just go around the shield, go ahead, take out the wall, and then we see a Gatlin, no problem. We just jump up, make sure we hit the headshots, kill him. Then we do the same thing with that Judex. We rush straight into him like it's nothing, and same with the Christina, because we know that we have our really high damage torpedo, and we have our high damage headshots. Even if you get body shots, it's not that big of a deal. You'll end up doing fine. As you can see right there, we hit some good headshots. Our torpedo ends up doing the rest, and now when we flake around, we are just going straight in, trying to go help our tank, and then we get surprised by a fade. Luckily for us, we were ready for it. We kept our eyes on him, and that allowed us to do damage the whole way through and not get caught up. Right there, we do a lot of damage onto that Judex, and we took a risky play there by rushing into it. I didn't really know if that was the right move or not in the moment, and I probably should have just went around into the heal room earlier, but it ended up working out, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I just wanted a really cool clip for my YouTube shorts at the time, so I was like, I bet I can do it, and it ended up working out, so at least there's that. But right there, we did end up getting hit by the Judex, so we did get killed, but we got our revenge right before the game ends, and now it's just my team and one Fade and Ruby, so they kill the Fade, and I just wanted to make sure that I got those shields down for my team, because Mark is an absolute god when it comes to taking down shields of any kind. He shoots so much damage so fast, and then he also has his torpedo. The reload's not bad, and you can get around things so quickly. It just really is great to kill those shields, and you can do it better than pretty much anyone other than maybe Gloria or a Gatlin. So if you do end up seeing a Fade bubble, just go ahead and kill it for your teammates. It'll make it where they land more shots, and you don't have to worry about it, and more importantly, it puts a lot more pressure onto their team to do a better job, knowing they won't have that little bit of backup and security of that Fade bubble. Same thing with things like Ruby shields and even Jabali shields. Right here, I have my whole team on cart, so what I do is I wrap around, and I'm just basically going to sit here and play for that flank and just head them off. That gives us a little bit of a stagger, giving us the cap. And this works on control as well. And so on E-Core, I do go out a little early. One thing you want to do on control especially is make sure that when they target you, you're already trying to get out of there before they catch you. You don't want to get behind his mark, because you want to let him get you to maybe half health total. That way you can heal yourself by getting either a small heal or letting your passive do it as you wrap back around. But you don't want to get so low that you're really one-shot, because it does take a second for your passive to actually kick in, and you don't really want to have to wait for that or have to get a bigger heal, and you want to try to get back in the fight as soon as you possibly can. Another thing is you can get caught out on Mark pretty easily, so you do need to make sure if people are targeting you that you are already having your escape plan mapped out and ready to go, because you can die so fast. You only have 5,600 health right there. As you can see, the walling, especially since that buff, it melts you so fast. Luckily, my neon got me back up, and as long as you are running away as you start to get shot, you should be able to get away, and you should also be able to heal through your passive and a small heal with pretty much no matter how much damage you get. But you do want to play around walls. You do want to make sure that you are trying to stay ahead of them actually shooting you. That way you will be fine. Right here, we're using our damage to put up a bunch of pressure, so they can't really target us that easy, and that's why that Jabali couldn't just take us down. He had to wait for his teammate, and I just helped my teammates try to get his shield down. Right there, we do end up taking that same Jabali down, and I'm going to go around right here. Making sure you're working with your team is so important. That's why we waited there on spawn, because while I do an insane amount of damage and could get all these kills without any help from anyone else, the fact that everyone else is just distracting people makes it so much easier to hit your headshots, hit your rockets, not get targeted as fast. Because remember, you can kill things so fast, if they're not already looking for you and targeting you and paying attention to just you, it's going to be really hard for them to do that much. So you do want to be a team player. The best part is, if you do a little bit of damage, your teammates are going to be able to kill them in one shot if they're on something like a Scotty, while Ings will have a much easier time getting kills. Your whole team in general will just do a lot better, and they will also help you. Right there, we were trying to anchor for Vincent, since I can hit with a rocket on him or hit with my manual fire spray and get him a lot easier than a lot of other stuff. Sadly, yeah, he got me. But we do pop our ult, we get the first guy, and then we are going straight in for that shell. We get him low, and our teammates do finish it off, giving us the win. And that is what's so beautiful about this character. You can do it all on your own if your teammates suck, if your team doesn't have a healer, as you saw in the first one, or if your teammates are doing a great job holding down the point, you can just wrap around and literally kill the entire team by yourself while they're all stuck in spawn, and you can just have a field day using your movement and your ungodly amounts of damage and abilities to just destroy everything. You go ahead, take down the shields for your teammates so they have less work to do. It's all about getting those wins when you're Mark, because you can get around people. You are good against a lot of flank heroes that are like generally hard to play against, and then you are an unbelievable shield breaking machine while still maintaining the movement that is so great having as Mark. Right here, we do go ahead and just melt that fade like it's nothing. Our teammate is getting rushed, but luckily for us, we were able to get in there and help kill that Gloria, and then we go in to try to help take down the Kazama, because we can do it not only with our bullets, but we also have that rocket that tracks him that also takes like more than half of his health by itself. So we are just an absolutely amazing, unstoppable killing machine. But not just that, like we showed earlier, we are also a contesting machine, and our ult comes up quite often, and it is so good. You want to make sure you're trying to use your ult either in these high pressure situations where you're going to need to get all these kills so your teammates just don't die and you lose, or you want to make sure that you're using it when you have all 5 so you have a good chance at least getting 2 or 3 kills with it. Sadly, I did overextend onto the Vade, and we did end up dying, but we did enough to get those extra 3 minutes, getting us to win that game when we barely capped it in time. Right there, we do go ahead and take out the first one, and we're just playing cautious since they have to push the card up. I figured, hey, I'll just sit here, do some damage for my team, and then when it looked like it was going bad, I decided I was going to flank around to help the team, and that's how we got the rest of them. And that's actually my favorite part about this character. It's not just the damage, it's literally the movement, man. I'm all about Scotty, I love waddling, anything that has movement that matters, I'm here for it. Besides Aletta, because like literally any moron can play Aletta. Like if you get somebody that just knows how to play and they're on Aletta, like yeah, cool. You can jump around and like shoot a character that doesn't die very easily. Yay. But the characters like this, yeah, even Kazama is this person's doing, like that you have to take that skill to play. Basically, anything that God or WCG would play, I love those because it's all about you being good. It's not about you abusing what is already good. But this one happens to also be good now. It got buffed, and it's so good. I mean, it got buffed a while ago, but one of the cool things is the way the meta's shifted, it's come back, and it kind of got buffed passively just through other things getting buffed. But what's really crazy is when I showed you that AFK Gloria earlier when we just hit the Meg checkpoint, we basically had about 2.5 minutes to cap, because up in the corner, I don't know if you noticed, they capped in 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So we were ungodly amounts of screwed. We also didn't have that great of a start. But I persevered, came through, did some flanks, did some crazy amounts of damage. But more importantly than anything else, I stayed alive, because that's what this character does. It stays alive and does burst damage like you wouldn't believe. So every time my teammates would push up, I would make sure that I pushed in with them, but I stayed back just enough, or I did a flank to the left or right with them at the same times to make sure that we were there with them to do those team fights, and that made it to where I didn't die, but it also made it to where we killed things unbelievably fast. Every time there was a shield, I made sure that I got it. Right here, my entire team died, so I decided to go up top, and instead of jumping down right away, I waited because I wanted my team to respawn before I threw myself down in there, and the reason for that is, why waste your damage? Let's say you go in there, you get 2 kills and you die, you get the other guy half, but there's no one there to clean it up. But if you just wait an extra 4 to 5 seconds, you can jump down in there and get the triple kill like I did, get the team help, have the shields of a fade right here to ensure that I'm okay, and then I go ahead and get that 5 streak, and then we go ahead pop our ult just to see where they are, which allows our team to end up killing the Christina, and then I turn around just to make sure that we're safe, and sadly they did have a neon ult, but it didn't matter because I was there to help. On 2000 ping. Yeah, that sucked. Luckily, my teammates did take care of it, so we're fine. So right here, I'm just basically spinning around just to see, like, okay, cool, am I gonna lag? What's happening? This was when I was still in the hospital, so the internet, like, basically crashing was not great, because I didn't know, like, what was gonna happen. Like, is it gonna stay bad? Is it gonna get better? And turns out, no, it was just gonna give me 20 ping. God, dude, like, that hospital internet was the best I've ever had, but it would, like, randomly just go to 2k ping for, like, 5-10 seconds. So that part sucked, but for the most part, it was great. So after that happened, we end up coming back and our teammates are doing a great job here. The problem is that we are almost on 4 minutes. I'm doing my best to just stay alive, do what I can to protect my healer on the back line, and then just keep rotating up and down on the jumpy uppy thing. Yes, that is the real technical term, I promise. And right there, I actually heard the ult from the Jabali up top, and so I thought that by going down, I was going to get away from it, and he was already headed down when he popped it, so I have no idea why I thought that was a good idea, but didn't work out, I can tell you that. But you know what did work out? That ult, kind of, because I got 2 kills. But you know what isn't working out? The fact that we have a minute left, and also we have 30 seconds left in the game. So that means that I really have to stick together with my team, and I couldn't go out by myself even though I spawned way first because we would have lost. I needed to work together with my team, and that is probably the biggest piece of advice I can give you on Mark. You certainly can kill their entire team by yourself, especially if you have an ult up. But the whole thing is, you're not going to do that consistently. But what you can do consistently is basically drill down a tank. Get the shields of the tank down. Do other bits of damage and keep your team alive. Work with your team and you will win games on Mark. I mean, there are few things that are better than having great teamwork on Mark. And one of those things is having great teamwork with Jordy to make your thumbnails. This guy can work with morons like me who have no artistic talent at all or even good ideas for thumbnails. I throw him what I want, he comes up with a good idea or makes my rough idea a good idea. And just like I recommend you having a Mark duo in the game right now, I also recommend you let Jordy make your thumbnails in this exact costume on live cam. It's not weird, I promise.